well, it's cancer. And I'm a single mom. I'm by myself. I don't have a lot of support. I can't work because I get sick so often. I also am a special needs teacher before I got diagnosed. I didn't have any warning signs. I actually started to have some pain in my abdomen, and it felt similar to having a cyst on an ovary that I have had before. I actually went in to my gynecologist and said, I'm having pain here, can we check? And so she did a CT scan on my left side of my ovary, and she called me back and said, you need to come in. We found the cyst, but also we cut the corner of your right bottom lung, and we see something there. And so when she told me they found something, it could be scar tissue or collapsed lung, I said, okay. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel pain. So I didn't take care of it right away. I was 43 years old, didn't smoke, but 3 years prior to that, lung cancer came into our family with my grandmother. She found out when she was 84 years old. She didn't even get properly diagnosed either, because they were telling her it was anxiety. They were giving her anxiety pills. She was stage 4. So I didn't do anything. I went on with my life. I started to feel something after 1.5 years after that diagnosis, and it was again my cyst. And I went back in to the gyno. She did a CT scan and she found it again. And that appointment, she said, you're going to do this. It's an emergency for you to go to the oncologist. I didn't know what an oncologist was. I had to Google that. And when I Googled it, I said, why is she having me see a cancer doctor? He says, we can do a biopsy. Just because it's been this long, my lung collapsed in the biopsy. So I had to be there for about 8 hours after the biopsy. And I'm still kind of clueless, right? And you're waiting and I'm just like, wait, nothing's there yet. It's been about a week. And then I get a call and they say to come in. And I'm a single mom. I'm by myself, and I go in by myself. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So he comes in and he turns around and he says to me, well, it's cancer. And, sorry. I haven't revisited it in a while. So, he says it's stage 1. And I said, you said it wasn't cancer. You said that you thought it wasn't cancer. And he said, I'm really sorry, it's stage 1, so we're gonna get you in quickly for surgery. And I didn't even have time to said anything. Like, it was so quick. It was literally 4 days after him telling me. And when you have a small child at home and you're your only person, family is far from me. They couldn't believe it. It's really shocking. So we set up the surgery, and it happened to be right after the pandemic. And so at that time, nobody can come in the hospital with you. And I had to say goodbye to my child in the parking lot. had to go through it alone because family couldn't come in, and you have to kind of just sit in your room and wait with thoughts, and like, you don't even know what's going on, you know? I had my lobectomy. They removed my lower lobe on my right side. I was told a week later, and the doctor came in and he said, I removed some lymph nodes in your medial sternum, and you had some cancer there, and so you are now stage 3. And I was like, wait, what? Excuse me? Excuse me?
Roxanne was thrust into chemotherapy. She says she wasn't ready for how hard it would be.
Chemo was very hard. And one of the other chemos, it started to make me, I started to lose my hearing. So I had to narrow it down, not as much chemo at the end. After that, they threw chemo on my plate and radiation. And still didn't know about the biomarker yet. I didn't even have an idea. He did say to me that if I had a certain marker, I was able to take a pill that would help for it to not come back, and that I would be fine.
By testing for biomarkers, doctors pinpointed what was driving Roxanne's lung cancer. Because it tested positive for the EGFR mutation, her treatment became a targeted therapy pill designed to find and fight her cancer.
And I thought, okay, so I remembered my grandma having the same issue with her biomarker and taking a pill. I had to do my own research. There should be a person, like an advocate with someone along the way, because you get so scrambled up. There's so much you have to, and a lot of people have support systems, and some don't. And with people that don't have that support, it's really hard to keep track on what is this? What does this mean? What's going to happen to me? Because we're sick. We shouldn't have to be searching. I have to say, I found a lot of comfort in some Facebook groups that make a world of difference, because some of us, like I said, we have support groups and some don't. And a lot of them are on the same targeted therapy as I'm on. And so, you know, when you have these choices to keep you alive without any information, you know, you just kind of do what you got to do. It's been a struggle since the surgery. I'm a single mother, and I don't have a lot of support. And so that has been a real big issue with this, because I feel that I'm not the only parent out there with children that need some kind of buddy system or something when you're going through cancer. Financially, I can't work. Because I get sick so often. You know, I try to be the best I can for my child when I am better, you know. We go camping, we'll go out for walks, you know, just to get that normalcy back. But it's still there, you know, it's still there, and it's an everyday process to get through it, because once you're told you have a stage of lung cancer, it doesn't go away. It's with you, even if you're doing great and even if you're not. But us as parents, we need to be able to cry somewhere, or how are we going to pay our rent? I know I'm not the only one out here alone going through cancer with their children. And I feel like we need to have more support groups, even if they're online. Anything like that makes it easier to heal. That's just something I feel passionate about right now. And maybe having this diagnosis is going to empower me, because it really has. I am a very strong woman now. I've gone through a lot. My kids see it. And I just want to make a difference. That's why we're here, right? We're here to make a difference. But we just happen to get sick along the way.
Roxanne, thank you for sharing your story with us to help humanize cancer and to remind our community you're not alone. If Roxanne's story resonated with you, we recommend you watch this one on your screen next. See you there.